Hi, I'm Stephen Ham from Archery Supplies. Today I want to look at some products made by a local archer in Australia. His name's Alec. And I'm going to say probably one of the best archers Australia has ever produced. And that's going to be a whole debate, which is probably another video, but he's won a lot of recurve events and also compound events, and he's done both in the same year. So he's won nationals with compound and recurve in the same year. And you're like, how do you do that? Because one day they shoot compound and one day they shot recurve. So he shot both and won both. So an Olympian, and yeah, it's just been one of the top archers for years and years and years. And you can debate who's the greatest archer in Australia, but he's got a shop and he's branding some products himself. So he's branded at E1. Now I would say, if I was one of the greatest archers in Australian history, I would put my name on the product and my face on the product, because that way people know who you are and you represent archery and you do archery and you're in the archery community. I think branding at E1 is an unknown thing. And I think if you named it, Potts or Alec or A Potts or something, and then put a picture of yourself with your gold medals around your neck on the photo, I think it'd be a lot more in your face and you're supporting a local archer and people would get behind that. And I think for overseas sales, people would get behind that as well, that it's not a Chinese product, it's an Australian guy doing something. I think people would get behind that. So that's just my thing, but we're going to look at it. So these are some of the things he's developed or come up with or copied, I'm going to say, because there's a whole thing about copying people, but I'm not going to go into that because I always get, there's a horrendous debate about that. So he's got, this one's a bent straight clicker. So it's got a bend, he's got a tool in there. We're going to go through all of these. So this is a leg clicker, so it looks like a leg. Now the purpose of this is it comes out like that, so that way it's dead straight on the arrow as opposed to being angled on the arrow. So now Alec was here yesterday and he said the other advantage of this, because the leg, the foot of the leg, and it's not well shown there, but we'll show it well later. The advantage of that is when you shoot through the clicker, and everyone shoots through a clicker, and I'm going to say even Alec shoots through a clicker. When you shoot through a clicker, there's less contact with the arrow, so therefore there's going to be less impact on the arrow when you shoot through the clicker. Now you don't want to shoot through the clicker, but look, it happens. So I did ask Alec what you're going to do when people shoot through the clicker and they break your clicker, because that is a common problem. With all clickers that are carbon, that when people shoot through them they will break. Occasionally, I've shot through my clicker a whole heap of times and I haven't broken it, but clickers will break when the bow's poorly tuned or people shoot through it, and he's like, well, that's their problem. So this one is a kit of all three clickers, so you can try the feel of it. So he's got a bend clicker, a soft clicker, which is basically quieter, so you feel the click as opposed to hear the click, and then a noisy clicker. So we're going to try them out. Now, price point in the marketplace. He's selling all three carbon clickers for 100 Australian dollars. That relates to the Win clicker, which is $50 for one. Win clicker is my most popular clicker that I sell. His other clickers he's selling for effectively $40 each, so a little bit cheaper than the Win clicker. The tool that comes with it to crank the clicker onto the bow to stop it moving when you shoot through the clicker, he said will fit the Win clickers as well, and other clickers. So we're going to try this out. Now, before I try out a new clicker, let's just go on with the ones I'm shooting. Now, I've got a couple of bows. I've got a few recurves I shoot. This is just the straight Win clicker. It's just the straight carbon, straight down. Win also does the curve clicker. I think I prefer the curve clicker, no real reason. I shoot the same scores with both. I just think I prefer it, right? So we're going to fit his, see if we prefer it. We're going to try them and sort of see how it goes. So let's fit it and see how it goes. Okay, so the first product I'm going to test is the Recurve clicker. It feels and looks a lot like the Win curve clicker. The amount of curve in it, the width looks very much the same. He's got his branding on the side there. It comes with the tool, which looks pretty good. It's all carbon. It comes with a little knob to screw it onto your bow, and it comes with a little bolt. The packaging is quite good so you can get it out and put it back in. I think that's good. As I said, I prefer Alex's face on the cover with some medals around his neck to show he's an Olympic archer and this is what he does for a sport and a business. So I prefer that. So let's fit this and see how it goes. Okay, so if you're trying clickers, make sure you make a mark where it is on your bow, and you should always have a mark there, because if you shoot through the clicker moves forward, you want to know where to set it. Now this is the Win clicker. You can see it's thinner than Alex's clicker there. The Win clicker has this metal thing on the end. Now when you shoot through it, you will knock this off, the metal thing on the end. Alec was saying he prefers the sound of carbon. So the difference between these two that I can see is the Win one's got a little bit of rubber here where Alec doesn't have that. So besides that, it's all pretty much the same. So that'll be interesting to see if the little rubber's actually doing anything or not doing anything. And I will say, when Alec came in the other day, he came in with another top Australian female Recurve archer, and this is the clicker that she shoots. So she's a very good archer, and she was cut. I mean, muscles everywhere, and obviously works and shoots a lot to be fit, which is excellent to see for an archer. So let's fit this and see how it goes. Okay, so I've just fitted the clicker, and when you fit this in there, this is the wrench to there, you'll see how well it fits. It's like just a perfect fit, and you get a fair bit of leverage. So I'm going to guess that's like as solid as you can get. Now you can hear how much click there is. It's very noisy. It's a very noisy clicker. So this is the one Sarah said she uses, so we're going to try it out now. So let's see sort of how it goes. Now when you try stuff, like I'm up close to the target, sometimes it takes time, and basically all of it makes no difference. I always remember back to the Olympians of the past who didn't have all this fancy stuff and shot amazing scores. So let's just see how this feels to shoot, and then we'll try the legs out. It's a very different noise. Which you may or may not like. When I first used to shoot Recurve, and I'd obviously shoot at home, but when I went down to the club and I'd hear everyone else's clicks going off, especially indoors, it used to really put me off because I was thinking, oh, that's my click. Now I shoot a lot more. That doesn't really happen. I don't feel that at all. It's more, I go on more of the feel of the shot, and I almost know when it's going to click before it clicks. But the clicker looks nice. It's very solid on the plunger. Let's have another shot. It's a very loud click. I'm going to say it's twice as loud as my existing clicker. Quite good. And on Sarah and Alex, because we're going to talk about poundage and stuff, I'm shooting 53 pounds. My arrow comes out of my bow at about 200 feet per second. This has nothing to do with the clicker. Sarah is shooting 37 pounds on fingers, and Alec was shooting 43 pounds on his fingers, and his bow was shooting at 200 feet per second, 195 or something he said, which is basically the same as mine. So it's very interesting about people's poundage and what they prefer. But let's try out the other clicker. So I think this clicker, you can here, if you want a loud clicker, these are very loud. I don't think the rubber, I don't think you need it. This is the most solid clicker I've ever had on a Recurve. It's not going to move because you get so much compression when you lock that in. It's pretty good. Like it's just so loud. If anything, you're going to annoy you. You're not going to annoy yourself. You're going to annoy your competitors because they're going to hear your click and they're going to misfire on them shooting. But I know a lot of people like a loud clicker, and this is a very loud clicker. So let's try out the leg clickers. It comes in two models: a soft and a noisy one, but it won't be as noisy as this. This is like a rock band going off. Okay, so this is the leg clicker. This is like, I'm gonna say it's like paper. I can't even see how this is gonna work. It's just so soft. I can't see how it's gonna work. I just don't know how this will work because it doesn't seem like there's going to be enough there. So let's fit it and see how it goes. Okay, so this is the ultra soft clicker. Now fitting this, I'm hoping you can hear how much noise there is. There's not much noise. It's going to be very interesting. Now fitting this, because it's so soft, it tends to move backwards and forwards when I was fitting it, so I had to be a little bit careful. But you can see it's just, there's not much there. I'm not a fan of this, but I'm going to. Alec was saying this clicker is for the feel of the shot, so you're basically not listening for the click. Now I've shot with headphones on, with noise cancelling headphones. I was doing this the other day, listening to a podcast, and I had noise cancelling headphones on, just to shoot, to feel the shot, because I can feel the click as opposed to hear the click. Now my first thing with this is the clicker is so soft the arrow falls off the rest. Okay, just in the loading, so you've got to be more careful. Normally the clicker will actually hold your arrow in place, so it's less critical that it falls off, that it doesn't fall off. So this should be interesting. Oh. It went click. I couldn't feel it go click, and I could barely hear it go click. So I can't feel it and I can't hear it. I'll do it again. No, I can't do it. Right, so I'm going to put that one down. Alec probably hate me, but that's the way it goes. I'm not a fan. And look, everything's up to your personal opinions and what you like. And this may be the clicker Alec is using. I know he's using one of the legs. I don't know how he could use it. I can't feel it. I can't hear it. I'm like, was that it going? I can't use it. So I'm sorry, that's not that. The first one was very loud, and if you're looking for, I have so many people wanting the loud clickers. I'm going to say it's more popular now, the loud clicker versus a soft clicker. But that's just, I don't know if it's a training aid or what, but boy, not for me. We're going to go to the next clicker and try that one out. Right, so this is the bend leg clicker. So Alec was saying this is a copy of a brand which doesn't exist anymore, and they don't make these clickers anymore. So look, now he said he changed some stuff on it. So he's reinforced it up here. So I'd be interested to see what that is, but that's noticeably reinforced at the top here. What I liked about this clicker is you can change not only the angle where it sits, but up and down, so how much of this foot is in contact with the arrow. So you can see the kind of curve there on the clicker. It's pronounced. I'm going to say it's not as big as the straight clicker, but it's still fairly pronounced, so we're going to try this one out. Okay, so I've fitted the leg clicker. This is a lot better, a lot easier to fit. I feel a lot more comfortable with it. I almost wonder with the other one, I feel like I'm getting myself in trouble, but I normally do on my videos, and that's maybe why some people watch. I feel like the first leg clicker was probably a mistake, because it's so light, it's ridiculous, it's crazy. And has there been other clickers that light? Look, yeah, a lot of clickers are very, very light. I feel that with the carbon clickers, they're very noisy, and that's why I shoot carbon clickers. But then I've had customers, many customers who break their carbon clickers, who complain, and I'm like, we'll shoot an aluminium clicker. Because the aluminium clicker, it just isn't the same noise, it's not as crisp, it's not as noisy. But then you can't break it, right? When you shoot through it, you'll bend it, but you can just bend it back. So with the carbon clicker, and like I said, I've shot through my carbon clicker many times and it hasn't broken. I've broken the little metal thing off and I've stuck that back on, but generally pretty good. Yeah, so that was a more traditional click. I felt like I got a first click because on my point here, I've got a collar on my point, and so I felt like I could feel it coming over the point, coming over the collar. So the first time, because it's a sharp metal edge, and maybe because this is interesting, because the leg's up and down. So if you're shooting an X10 arrow or a normal arrow, you're not going to have this problem. Or even if you're shooting one of these arrows without the collar, you're not going to have this problem. So I think because the leg is straight up and down, it's hitting it straight on the collar edge, so it's kind of getting a little bit caught. Where if the clicker was angled, it's not going to get caught on the collar. So most points are going to be flat and smooth, so you're not going to get that. But originally the idea was that the click is straight, so it's straight down the point, so it's a precise click, where I'm getting that little first ridge I can feel as I'm pulling it back. And that time I didn't get any click at all. So I got a click when it went click, but I didn't feel it go over the collar at all. So maybe it's just the first one. But this is more traditional. It's like a normal clicker, really. How does it feel? How does it sound compared to a Win and Win? I think it sounds pretty similar. I think it sounds pretty similar. I can't really pick it. So on the noise scale, I'm going to say the straight one from Alec is the noisiest. That's very, very noisy. This is more similar. So the standard leg bend clicker is is similar to the normal Win and Win curve clicker as far as noise. So as far as noise levels are concerned from clickers, I'm going to say it is one of the noisier clickers, so it's going to be a defined click. It's very good. The noisiest I'm going to think is Alex's straight one, and I think the Win and Win heavy clicker is very noisy too. So Alex straight is like the heavy Win and Win. the leg is like the normal Win clicker. And now it's not making that a tool going over the collars, there's none of that, so maybe it's just the first shot. Yes, yes, I'm not even getting it now. I definitely got it on the first shot. Yeah, that one's quite good. It's like a kind of noise level I like. So, my summary of Alec's clickers. I think most people are going to prefer the straight one because it's the noisiest of the clickers and that's the most common. It's what most beginners will want. They want a very loud click to let them know to shoot the shot. The soft one, I don't even know where that sits in the marketplace. The normal leg clicker I think is quite good, and it's a noise that it's a noise and design that I might just leave it on the bow, I think, and see what I think of it for a while. So my summary is I'd probably prefer the standard leg clicker, and that's what Alec shoots. The other one I think would be more suitable for beginners. That's not taking anything away from Sarah, who shoots that clicker, who's obviously, I'm going to say obviously a better archer than I am. And I think the straight one will be the popular one, right? So price point I think is good. The fitting is excellent. I'm going to say better than the Win. The Win probably looks better. The packaging on Alex's clickers goes up against the wall, where the Win has to go under a bench because it goes in a tube. Up against the wall's nice, I find, because it hangs and most shops will be hanging. Now, these clickers are going to be available overseas. He has sold some to, I believe, some European stores and England. So I don't know if he's in America yet with the clickers, so I assume that's a matter of time. Anyway, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. That's the E1 clickers, the 3 types. I hope it's been useful and just general information about clickers. Thanks for watching. Bye.